Having survived the great safety riots of year 5, we are back in our settlement here in Patron, and there are a number of changes that we are going to have to make to be able to keep our population around. We just had about 10 people up and move away because they were feeling unsafe in our town, thankfully leaving us with a number of empty houses here. So my strategy is going to be to set up a watchtower just somewhere, demolish a house, build a watchtower, help improve the safety, but farther on the horizon, I want to be able to start bringing in the farming economy to our town. But first up, gotta manage the safety. Sire the King has sent over a ship full of goods for our facility. He's clearly pleased with us, containing herbs and tools. He's like, no, you guys have sold so many herbs. We don't need these guys. We're sending them back to you. Well, au contraire, your majesty. Be prepared. Thank you for the herbs. Have another 300. I love it. So I've been kind of waiting for my population to recover after we lost everyone from the riots, and then also been working my way through, like, catching up on research that I had neglected as I beeline toward some other things. Putting off the Gatherer's Hall, we do need to be able to get more stone into our gathering, and for that we're going to have to establish a quarry, and the quarry is going to require a lot more workers, and I just didn't want to be pulling workers out of the economy as it was currently balanced. But at this point we're able to set one up, and we're going to set it up over here next to our other mines. So let's see here, we're going to go to production buildings, find the quarry, and then make sure that we establish it. This is a very large building. I kind of want this behind the other mines. Yeah, we'll put it in over here. And then get the road to be able to connect around. Let's see here. Connect like so. And back like so. Beautiful. Then once that gets up, we will be able to start producing stone, which is required in small quantities for our buildings and some upgrades, but it's going to be more and more important as we progress. And also, as you see here, we get stone road. At some point we're going to be able to get stone houses. Those have better insulation value, so they are easier to heat in the winter. Not sure if that is really true in terms of real life, but that's the way the game's set up, so we are going to roll with it. Is this guy wearing a hard hat? Is this, oh no, she's just a blonde. Okay. Man. I was like, is she wearing a hard hat? Because that's hilarious. It's completely out of touch with the times, but it also looked kind of right. So I was like, all right, I'm okay with that. But no, it's just the female hair modeling. Apparently the hard hat style was much in fashion back then. We have found a pirate trader, my lord. An independent trader has arrived. Judging by the looks of their crew, they truly are independent, but more than likely pirates as well. In any case, they wish to purchase some of our goods. Should I send the garrison to deal with them? Yes, send them away, which would give us increased loyalty. Or we can stick with the independent title. Officially, at least. Send them to me, and we can make 600 coins for the sale of only 100 iron and 28 coal. But that would also penalize our safety. I'm going to send them away because right now our treasury is not hurting at all. We are in the winter here of year 6, just ticked over into year 7. I've been waiting for my population to balance out after the riots. Still waiting to recover from that mass exodus. But as soon as we get the stone banked up to be able to get the gathering hall, we're going to pop that upgrade and then swing into building up our farms. I would really like to be able to get them running in springtime to be able to be planted this year, because otherwise it looks like we are going to be buying food to keep our people alive, which is fine. We have enough money to be able to do so and make it through this year, but I would really rather be in a position to be self-sufficient rather than having to continually buy commodities from the mainland. We got our stone. 15 days and we will have the gathering hall upgrade. This is the first in a long line of upgrades for your central building, and this first upgrade is what allows you to use the farms tab. The town center must be upgraded to gathering hall to be able to have crop fields, orchards, and ranches, all of which are extremely efficient ways to produce food per the number of farmers that you have assigned, but they are fairly expensive in terms of gold. But I'll do the whole breakdown once we get it set up. I'm just talking right now from my experience in the tutorial. This whole area along the river is very fertile soil, and so it will be prime real estate for being able to set up our farms. I just hope that we are able to get them established in time to plant this year. And we have leveled up. Does it look more grand and spectacular? I suppose the shingles are the addition rather than a thatched roof that we had before. Now we want to, let's throw up the grid and figure out where we are going to start placing things down. I like the idea of having an orchard kind of right in front of the gathering hall. And the orchard size limit here is 20 by 20. So we will get this first orchard established. And then let's go for a crop field off to the side here. 12 by 12. Still all within the green. Wonderful. We have to pick what kind of fruit we want to be planted this coming season. The only option we have right now is apples. As we get better upgrades, we can get a larger variety of seeds to be planted. The orchard, though, you pretty much just lock and load. The farms, you want to do a actual crop rotation. It's kind of a dumbed down rotation, which thank goodness, because crop rotations in real life are very science heavy in terms of what you have to switch to. But my understanding is that the crop rotation for the fields here in Patron is just that as long as you keep on switching periodically between what is grown in the field, then its efficiency will not be depleted. We can't establish too many right now because we don't have a very good population. Let's see at the jobs. Yes, we have 5 free workers. The game is still telling me that really that's too few. And but nevertheless, we want to have these farmers, and it's in March. Crossing my fingers that they're able to go to work this year. Let's see if we're able to plant these. Right now, we are fine on firewood, so we're going to take off this character from the sawmill. Oh yes, she is beginning to till the field for the apple orchard. Getting to plant the furrows for the young trees. I believe that they will be able to produce within the first year. I believe so, which is not very realistic for an orchard, but that's the way they have it set up. Apparently, whoever was supposed to work this crop field is just incredibly lazy because they've been assigned. They just haven't shown up for work yet. Meanwhile, lady over here, hard hat blonde, again with the hard hat blonde, has shown up and has set up this whole field ready to go. I feel like this is the character who's supposed to work in the field, but she only comes down to here, and then she just turns around, but she's carrying a farming hoe. Like, that's what's... Did my beautification projects, like, ruin things? They have a pathway to get through, I just don't see people using it. Alright, we're gonna see. If I demolish these hedges, does that help? Have I found a bug? What's happening? They're super cheap. I'll be able to rebuild them if that was the case. And there we go! Starting to plant the apple trees. Meanwhile, this field... Disgraceful that we don't have any workers in this field. But we are almost out of our food reserves, so we're going to have to buy some food here. What kind of food should we buy? Let's see. We have our pick. Let's get some... potatoes are expensive. What's something cheap, right? Like cabbage. Cabbage is cheap, isn't it? Or lettuce. I assume that all food units equate to the same value for when your people are consuming them. We cannot buy cabbage. Beetroot, blackberries, something like that. Yeah. Carrots. We're gonna buy a whole ship of carrots. We also have the ability from the Gathering Hall to be able to enact the food production decree. This will give food production plus 10% from all of our, where does it give like the different breakdown? When you research it, let's see, if we go to the research panel then. Where are you? Food production. The food production policy increases the efficiency of fields, orchards, ranchers, gathering huts, huntsman lodges, and fisherman huts by 10%. So that's also going to be a shot in the arm into our food production. Really don't want to have a wave of starvation coming in to hit us. It would be very unfortunate as we wait for the ship to arrive with additional carrots to sustain us. Now, as you go to the orchard here, so we see we are going to be able to produce 800 apples for only 800 coins. That is extremely efficient for just a single worker. And the king sends his regards. Yeah. Something is seriously wrong with this crop field. Maybe, it's because, oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot. It's because I didn't say what I wanted planted. I want oats. Make oats. Okay, so all that talk of bugs and whatnot, it's just because the lady with the hoe was coming around. She was like, I'll till the field if you want me to, but I still haven't been told what to plant. Still haven't. Here she comes. Right on cue. Still haven't told me what to plant, just for months. Checking on the field to see if I had told her what to plant. Meanwhile, I was like, you're the idiot for not plowing this. Well, hopefully my stupidity has not cut me out of a good harvest. And we will go for... Well, so here's the catch. When you look at the farms here with the ranches, so the animals that you keep are going to require oats to live, and so you can either buy oats or produce oats. So I would honestly like to have a harvest of oats in before we set up our ranch lands. And then right now we're able to produce 576 oats out of this one field. We'll see how many ranches that is able to support, and if it is worth it. Right now, our main pinch is still the population of, like, being able to assign enough workers. We need more workers. If we want to be very efficient in terms of our workers, we're making plenty of money, so we don't have to be super efficient in terms of money, which is why the orchards are very desirable to me. Be able to produce 1 unit per coin, but still 800 for 1 worker is better even than the fisherman huts, which are producing 673 per worker, though these here cost less in terms of coins and wood. And the ship has arrived, so we have enough food to be able to make it through a little while longer. We'll sell off herbs to offset some of our expenses, and then we're going to look at doing some more projects here. What do we want to go into? We can get the immigration incentive to be able to increase our population. That seems like it would be pretty fun. But we also have upgrades to what we can plant in our fields and upgrades to our ranches, which is kind of what we are investing in right now. So I'm mostly interested in going into that. Yeah. We have enough money. We're not really pinched in terms of money. The downside of the orchards and the crop fields here is that their production all comes just at harvest time. So it's, instead of the fisherman's hut, which is providing a trickle of fish all year round, the orchard is only going to provide apples in the fall when it's time to pick apples. And so then you get your huge windfall in the harvest season, and then the rest of the year you have to be able to live off of it. So it can be hard to figure out how you need to balance your farms to be able to support the population that you have. It looks like we did not get much of a harvest out of the first year of our orchard here. We only have a few apples, and the trees are dead now. I believe that's all you get, and that it will ramp up in this second year now that the trees are fully grown. That we got like a quote-unquote prorated amount based on when the trees were fully grown in the year, how many apples they were able to produce. So that means that things are going to be actually pretty tight for this coming winter. Looks like we're going to be buying more food from the mainland. And that's unfortunate. I was really hoping to be able to have that clean transition to the farming crops. But moving forward now, we should be able to be self-sufficient off the assistance from the mainland. And otherwise, right now, what I'm going for is I'm kind of beelining down this critical path to be able to open up the market and then orchard seeds 1, which will give us more variety out of our orchards, getting pears and plum trees rather than just apples, because I would like to get some more orchards established. Here you can see all the crops of oats that we were able to lay out. So now it's just up to the carriers to come by and bring those to the warehouse. If we had more apples, you would see like baskets of apples along the side as well, and then they would carry them away. But we don't have those, so that's why I'm pretty sure that the harvest is done in terms of apples, and we barely got any. Well, there's always next year, as long as you survive the winter. All these oats does mean that we are able to bring in our first farm, or our first ranch, from the farm fields. Be able to start raising some animals. Usually starting a ranch in the middle of winter, or in the beginning of winter, is not a great idea, but by the time we get it constructed and then manned, it'll probably be around to spring again anyway. Okay, where are the carrots? We're getting in more carrots. It'll cost us 300 gold, but we can afford it. Alright, here we go! We are able to raise chickens! Look at them running around! Let's see if I deselect it, looks a little more normal. Have little glowing chickens, yes! So, when you manage the ranches here, we have similar upkeep to the orchards. Maybe this upkeep is more based on... Is it based on size? Or how many animals are here? Let's see. Buy small animals. Yeah, so the cost... The cost is unchanged. I think the cost is based on the size of the ranch that you are managing, and then this is how many animals we have. This is the max that we can keep. This is what they are currently producing, which is not a lot for how many are in there, but they're mostly young chickens right now. As they become adults, then our production will increase. You can buy small animals for cheap or double the price to get adult animals, and then you can either constantly buy in to be able to keep your numbers at the max, or allow them to breed naturally, which will mean that your production is a little bit lower, but you don't have to micromanage keeping on purchasing animals, and so that is what I'm in the favor of. And so this is going to give us eggs and chicken meat. We get 12 per animal, it looks like. So, and 20 eggs per animal. By the time we have almost 40 chickens in here, this is going to be a very, very strong production chain. And we made it through the winter without having to dip too close to starvation ration, so that's good to see. Happy to see that. I had turned off the sawmill just to be able to micromanage our manpower. We were kind of stuck at 41 for the longest time. Now we have a few more people, and this year we'll be able to get the full harvests out of our fields and whatnot. And then over here in this crop field, we're planting flowers because that is one of the peasant luxury items. They love flowers. Peasants just love flowers, and we can grow 432 of them in a year, which is going to be awesome for luxury. Though right now, what is it? Luxury goods. The peasants are pretty happy just as long as I supply them with serviceable clothes. We built a carpenter shop, but we've never put a carpenter actually to work over there. Oh, that's awesome. We get the apple blossoms. That's cool. And let's see how the chickens are doing. Oh yes, those chickens have grown up in just one spring. They are spring chickens now. and our production is way higher. Oh, that's amazing. So the ranch here, in terms of manpower, is currently the most efficient food production that we have. Producing for a single farmer, one farmer only, and we are getting, what is this, 1,300 food? Almost 1,400 food, and that's not even at max, for 800 coins. Now you are also putting in the upkeep of the oats. So you have to take into account that you're buying all the oats for them, but we have enough oats out of this one field to be able to almost support 2 ranches. That'll be interesting as we start to expand the number of ranches, how many oat fields will be required to keep them going. We also now have, I think it's under town buildings. Yes, we have the market, which is able to sell commodities to our people and earn us a profit. And so you want to have it covering as much of the residential area as possible within this circular radius. And it is exactly the same size as 4 houses here. So the plan here is we're going to demolish these houses and then build new housing off to this side and plop the market right into the middle there. That's the goal. We should probably build the additional houses first, though. Better to have those ready to go rather than have people just be homeless while they wait. We'll get these going. We have once again run out of food. Kind of scary. But we are bringing some more in. I think we're gonna make it to harvest time this year without needing to buy more. I don't know. There's a couple people here with the food is critical. Now when food hits critical levels, this was an update as of the day 1 patch on Patron, it then becomes top priority for your carriers to bring food to the warehouses, so you immediately get the inventory of food that you've been looking for, which is good. It's still kind of tight here. There's our flower bed. Kill the chickens, eat the chickens. Be able to get enough food into our bellies. Alright, demolish those, and then we can get our market. Excellent. And all these people now think they are homeless, but there's plenty of empty houses for them to be able to move into. And before too long, they are relocated. I probably should have given them some forewarning to be able to get their belongings out of those houses, but maybe next time. Oh, and you can see the little apples growing. I have to say that the visuals in this game are incredible. And we got all the flowers. Yes, yes, yes. It looks like our efficiency and fertility is still at 100% here, so no need to bother with a crop rotation just yet. Let's get somebody over here, work in the market, and upgrade to make us more money off of the peasants. Ah, sunken ship. Ooh, this is very tempting. So, we can either get more people to rescue them, which will damage the happiness of our peasants and laborers, or we can snag a little bit of food and improve their happiness. That's a hard one because we're so pinched for food right now. Like, if we get these extra mouths to feed, it's tough. It's tough, but I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna grab the people. Growing my population has been hard up till now. We're gonna expand the gatherers shelter to be able to get these people working for food right away. And then we need to be able to get another ship in of food. We still have not fully stabilized. All right, here's all the apple baskets laid out. Hopping into our storehouses. 81 apples in stock right now. They're gonna go fast. They are going to get eaten fast. 800 apples a year, though. That's going to be able to see us through the winter. Maybe we did not need this ship. And the flowers are being picked as well, so we should be seeing a huge shot of peasant luxuries. I think that next season we're gonna switch to something that we can eat. Let's go for pumpkins. Be able to see how that is. Inventory space is low because look at this, the harvest coming in. 1,000 food. Okay, do we have we gotten the warehouse? Yes, we do. Okay, we're gonna plop down some warehouses. And I want to set this up along the coast here. Basically, I don't want to have to worry about inventory space again. Let's get 2 of them. That'll be fine for a long time, I believe. Because each of these adds, does it say here how much it's going to add? Yeah, adds 4,000 inventory space. Get this one up as a priority. Got to get it in as soon as we can. And then we can sell the herbs just to make a little bit more inventory space room. Like, the herbs are really, I wish we could eat these. If we could eat these, we would have never had any hunger problems. The market is making us plenty of money a year. I like that. There we go. Warehouse is up and our stock. Yeah, plenty of space now. So what are the big... What is taking up a lot of space for us? Like, do we have something that I haven't noticed? I mean, the 2,000 units of herbs is a bit much. What else? Anything big? Plenty of apples. And that's really it. You know, we have a lot of tools, 1,000 tools, and then 1,000 lumber, our stock of food, and then our stock of herbs, and a big stock of leather too, I suppose. There we go. But with 2 warehouses, we're now only at half capacity. I guess we need to be more on top of actually selling things off. We'll need the money as things improve. These upgrades get very expensive. Like if we look over here, it's going to cost 1,000 gold to get the town hall, and then if we go on a little bit farther, the council hall is 2,000, and by the end game, you're spending like 9,000 to be able to get the Patron mansion, which is crazy. No firewood in stock. I haven't had to worry about this in forever. Okay, so you say that we're not getting stone. What did I spend all of our stone on? I don't even know. Is there like an upgrade? It must have been an upgrade that took up a bunch of stone. But with no firewood, that's not good. Ooh, this is going to be a bad winter. We got a little bit here. As we're getting coal, the main thing is going to be that the coal production is going to help us warm the homes. We want to get as much firewood as possible here too. We're in January, so we're on the tail end of winter. Hopefully there are not any deaths. Everybody's cold. Want to make sure that we have insulation on these houses so we're not burning more kindling than we need to. It looks like I did pretty well about making sure that we had the insulation upgrades though. There's a few here. Get some upgrades. You have an upgrade and you have insulation and you have insulation. We're into March, so we were able to basically make it through, and I don't think we lost anybody. We have some more decrees that we might like to enact here. So we have the immigration incentive to be able to get more people. I'm going to hold off on that. That takes 5 influence to be able to throw in. This construction goods is going to be nice for being able to get more of, especially of coal. But it will kind of inflate how much iron we're getting. Maybe we just go into... yeah, we don't quite need it yet, I don't think. We just get a few more people, which we do. We're up to 7 free workers, so work in the coal mines. Let's experiment with some other goods here. Need to be able to keep up our number of farmers. The problem with the farmers that I don't like is when you add ones, they kind of randomly rebalance the people assigned as farmers away from areas that like my rancher got reassigned to something. It just feels a little bit jarring, a little bit odd. What do we want to grow next? Let's see, we could go into the king's opposition. Sire, our guardsmen have caught several infiltrators wreaking havoc on our stockpiles. They claim their only goal was to weaken the king and his local affairs. There's a bounty on their heads. What should we do with them? We can either get 5 new citizens at a penalty to loyalty and safety, or we can get a lot of money and take a bonus to loyalty. So I'm going to take this even though I've been talking about how pinched we are for workers. Right now we're doing okay. Doing all right. Let's just be able to try and grow some cabbages. So cabbages get 600. These fields are just a tiny bit smaller than the other ones. So pumpkins was 720. Oats was 576. Cabbages. What else have we not tried? We have not tried growing carrots on our own. Or beans. Okay, beans, yep. We have 1 laborer. Huh. I'm not quite sure what makes someone transition to be considered a laborer. Is it the job they work, or is it like they eventually level up? I don't know, I'm a little curious as to what's going on there, but we're going to go in for the beans. Beans production is a lot lower. 360 a year. Oh well, we'll keep on experimenting and figure out what is going to be the best things for us to grow. And then over here, we are growing pears, which you get the exact same production and upkeep as you do out of the apples. It just increases the variety, and variety is going to increase happiness. It's time for planting, and we see our farmers are busy at work here, planting the beans, planting the cabbage, planting tobacco, which is a luxury resource that I want to kind of bank up for the future laborers. We're up to 2 laborers. This way we're just able to have some luxury resources, in the bank for those guys. And then our standard oats, I'm still kind of waiting. I want to know how long I'm able to keep on planting the same thing until I need to do a crop rotation to refresh the field. And then I have plenty of other fields that'll be able to make oats to support our chickens, which are a huge boon to our food. We are producing so much food now. Easily have stabilized. And then I've been kind of bothered just to keep on selling herbs. So I've actually cut down on the number of people working in the herbalist hut to be able to go in different directions. And we're filling up our houses pretty well. So I'm looking at kind of extending the residential zone out this way beyond this boulder. This is kind of going to be a divider in the town. We keep all this area for farming, extending toward the river, and then preserve this area for production and mining, and we can move. This way we also keep this coastal area for other kind of production buildings around the warehouses, and the residential can extend out this way. I think that'll be a good game plan moving forward. We need to figure out what we want to adapt to next. Our food production is just so high right now. We're doing great there. We don't have to worry about that. But then in terms of what we are going to upgrade and what we are going to improve to, there's going to be more demands as we get the higher classes of citizens upon their luxuries. And so we have pottery, which we could go for, and clay. We probably want to be able to make bricks at some point, which I think, where does bricks come in? Let us check. We have the candle shop here. Better market radius, I like that actually. And then, is that after the town hall? We get stone house, churches, there's the brickworks. So it's coming after this town hall upgrade. Well, we began the episode by getting the gathering hall. Maybe we can end it by getting the town hall. Right now it's June. I can do about one more project in between here pretty easily. So let's grab, what is it? Something for the market radius. Increasing that market radius. Go for it. We've also gotten the upgrade to Stone Road. So we are going to make our main streets here paved in stone. And it is going to pretty heftily deplete all the stone that we have stockpiled. But it does give a movement bonus to your citizens on it. And that's pretty important to me. And then we want, this is kind of also a very important road, running all the way out to our mining operation. We'll get that going in stone. This zone, maybe I'll do that in stone later. It's going to get expensive. Right now I cut down our stone reserve just to 70. So we'll sit on this. We need 100 to be able to get the town hall, and that's kind of the next research that I want to be able to pick up. Okay, we can look into what our next crop rotation is. Right now, I'm not rotating because I have to. I'm just trying to grow everything available so that I know the details about what it is like. I don't think I've grown carrots yet. We're going to try carrots. So carrots are kind of a low production, similar to beans. The higher production ones are cabbage and pumpkins. Well, one of these I want to go for flowers again. And then the other one, I guess the last thing that I have not grown is wheat. I mean, I know that I'm going to be growing a lot of that. Oh, that's high production. I'm going to be growing a lot of that once we get our bread economy going, but that is going to have to be in the next episode. Because where does that come in? The oil mill? Where's the bakery? Here's the windmill, and there's the bakery. Directly after the town hall. So, next episode is going to get pretty fun being able to set up, what is it? Both brickworks and bread. Brickworks and bread. I already know what I'm going to title the next episode. It is October. We are going to upgrade the town hall, which is going to take us to pretty much the very end of the year to be able to show that off, get to reflect on what the last 5 years were like for the town. We had dropped down to about 30 population right at the end of the riots. Now we are up poking into the 60 population mark. We had a number of years where it was just a struggle to be able to feed everybody as we were kind of rebalancing the economy after everybody left from the riots. Taking people kind of in and out of the gatherer's shelter and actually having to buy food through the harbor. But we made it through without anybody starving, as far as I am aware. We also had a scare one winter that was especially harsh where we ran out of firewood and we're kind of panicking to be able to heat everyone's homes. But now we have our ranches established, our orchards established, and we're able to stockpile enough food through the harvests that we can make it through the winter afterwards, which has been really fun to play around with. We've gotten to experiment with every crop that is available to us at this point. There are still a few more that we can unlock through different researches, and we have some more animals. I believe we can keep sheep right now if we were to build another ranch. Though right now I'm happy with having just the chickens, because sheep's primary output I have to assume is going to be wool. I assume that you're also going to get some mutton. But I don't have any use for wool because my clothes shop takes in leather rather than wool. So once we have a need for wool, then we'll go for it. But until then, we're going to leave it at just the chickens. And I believe that is it. The research has completed and we now have a gabled town hall. Very fun. We have more, more decrees that we can bring in, but right now I've not really felt the need. It's going to be nice to have these in the back pocket to be able to set up like construction goods, essential goods, these different pieces when we start drawing too heavily on our base resources like wood, iron, and stone. So rather than having to build another production building and assign more workers to those buildings, we can just enact the decrees and be able to keep on assigning our workforce to more advanced pieces. So Looking forward to the next episode where we expand into brickworks and bread. Hope you guys are enjoying the series. Leave a comment on how I can potentially improve our lovely city here, or any construction projects that you guys would like to see me attempt. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.